Hello and welcome to TTV News with some latest events in the province. Ladies and gentlemen, facing the current complicated situations of the COVID-19 epidemic, the Ministry of Health has just issued an urgent dispatch to the People's Committee of the province and city on the continuations of taking measures to prevent and control the epidemic.
According to the Ministry of Health, in the first day of April alone, the situation of COVID-19 epidemic in the country has tended to increase. The whole country has recorded over 630 new cases of COVID-19. The group of 50 years and older accounts for more than 30% of new cases. In order to continue to be proactive in measures to prevent and control the COVID-19 epidemic, control the epidemic situation, prevent the epidemic from resurfacing, and contribute to creating conditions for socio-economic development, the Ministry of Health suggested that the People's Committee of Provinces and centrally run cities direct to continue to thoroughly grasp and strictly implement the directions of the government and the Prime Minister in the prevention and control of COVID-19 and other infectious diseases. Provinces and cities must absolutely not be subjective, negligent, lose vigilance, and effectively implement measures to prevent and control the epidemic according to Resolution number 38, dated March 17, 2022 of the government, as well as the planned prevention and control of infectious diseases in 2023 by the Ministry of Health. Provinces and cities also need to pay attention to and promote vaccination against COVID-19 to achieve the set goals. Mobilize the participation of local authorities and departments, agencies, and mass organizations to drastically implement the review and mobilization of subjects to participate in COVID-19 vaccination, especially with high-risk groups.
Turn to other news. The audience on April 13. The delegations of Committee for Ethnic Minorities Affairs, led by Mr. Lê Sơn Hải, Deputy Minister, Deputy Head of the Committee of Ethnic Minority Affairs, has a visit to give gift to Khmer ethnic people in the province on the occasions of the traditional TayNinhTV New Year in 2023. Accompanying the delegations on the side of the leaders of the province, there were Mr. Trương Nhật Quang, member of the Provincial Party Standing Committee, heads of the Mass Mobilization Departments of Provincial Party Committee.
Mr. Lê Sơn Hải recognized and congratulated the results achieved by the party committee, authorities, armed forces, and people of ethnic groups in TayNinhTV province in the past time, contributing to improving the lives of ethnic minorities in all aspects and preserving the national cultural identity. He hopes that in the coming time, ethnic people in the province will continue to promote the tradition of race solidarity, will implement the guidelines and policies of the party and the laws of the state, actively participate in patriotic emulation movements, will implement the motto "Good Life and Good Relation," building an increasingly prosperous and happy life. Along with that, the party committees and authorities of the TayNinhTV province should continue to pay attention to the implementation of the National Target Program for Socio-Economic Development in ethnic minority and mountainous areas, timely settlement of difficulties and inadequacies in the development policy of ethnic minorities in general and Khmer ethnic people in particular. On this occasion, the delegation of the Committee for Ethnic Minority Affairs and TayNinhTV Department of Internal Affairs presented gifts to the most and prestigious people of the Khmer ethnic group in TayNinhTV province.
Minister of Finance Hồ Đức Phước has just sent a telegram to the General Departments of Taxation and local tax departments, requesting them to strengthen the management and supervision of the issuance and use of electronic invoice.
Accordingly, from May 2022, the General Department of Taxation has implemented an electronic invoice system nationwide. Businesses, organizations, and individuals will have to make a seamless transition from traditional paper invoices to electronic invoices. However, over the past time, there is still a phenomenon that some businesses, organizations, and individuals deliberately take advantage of the issuance and use of e-invoice to self-sort by and self-invoice for profit and violate the law. Facing the situation, the Minister of Finance requested the General Department of Taxation to direct the tax departments of the provinces and centrally run cities to promote propaganda and raise the awareness of businesses in particular and taxpayers in general on the obligation to comply with tax law, timely warning of tax violations and crimes, develop a comprehensive and systematic plan for disseminating and educating tax laws, preventing violations of the issuance and use of e-invoice. In addition, he also requires units to strengthen inspection, examination, and supervision of the issuance and use of e-invoice to promptly detect law violations and handle them strictly in accordance with the law. In the first quarter of 2023, TayNin branch of the Bank for Social Policies actively coordinated and effectively implemented the week of savings, joining hands for the poor. Thereby, it has made practical contributions to the goal of sustainable poverty reduction, ensuring social security and building new rural areas of the province. Specifically, by the end of the first quarter, the total amount of money mobilized from the week of savings, joining hands for the poor, has reached over 37 billion Vietnam dong. To achieve this result, the provincial branch of the Bank for Social Policies has coordinated with the interested social-political organizations, actively mobilizing individuals and businesses in the province to join hands to make a deposit in order to work with the state to create more capital sources to have the poor and policy beneficiaries have access to loans with preferential interest rates. Since its launch until now, the week of savings, joining hands for the poor, has been actively implemented and participated by the political system from the province to the grassroots along with associations and unions. Currently, localities continue to mobilize savings in order to increase the share of preferential loans on for the goal, joining hands for the poor, leaving no one behind. According to the announcement of the Ministry of Education and Training, this 2023 high school graduation exam is basically kept stable like the previous year. However, there are still some new points in the regulations of this year's exam that candidates need to pay special attention to. Accordingly, regulations on the items candidates are allowed to bring into the exam room including pens, pencils, compasses, erasers, rulers, pocket calculators without word processing functions, without memory cards, Vietnam Geography Atlas for geography exam. According to the regulation, candidates who have completed the high school program in the year the exam is held can register for the exam online or register for the exam in person at the high school where they are in grade 12. For the application for the high school graduation exam in 2023, which is a person who has completed the high school program in the year the exam is held, the application will include two identical application forms, the original or a certified copy from the original or a copy issued from the master book, or a copy enclosed with the original for comparison of high school transcript, terms of valid certifications to enjoy priority and incentive regimes, if any. In addition, candidates must take a photo file in case of online registration or two for multiply stick photos, stamp of citizen identification in case of direct registration, photo taken no more than 6 months before the application deadline. Despite the relatively complete infrastructure investment, up to now, the resettlement area at Hamlet 6 Barong Camille Goyo district has not had any households to build houses. The work of ensuring environmental sanitation and fire prevention in this area is one of the issues that needs special attention. This resettlement area is invested by Saigon VRC Investment Joint Stock Company. The full name of the project is Urban Resettlement Project Serving Phước Đông Bờ Lời Industrial Urban Service Complex. In the second phase of the project, the company has completed handing over land to 206 households. Up to now, it has been relatively complete infrastructure investment. However, there are still no resettled households to build houses. Although the investor has had many support policies, as a result, this area has many luxuriant woods covering an area of about 20 hectares, most of which are in a dry stage, easily causing fires. Goyo District People's Committee said that the district has directed functional agencies to coordinate with investor and Baodong commune authorities to pay attention to well-implement environmental sanitation. In particular, it focuses on clearing plants, cleaning up domestic waste, burning waste to prevent fires from occurring. In the long term, the District People's Committee will continue to coordinate with Saigon VRC Investment Trust Company to inspect, review, and supplement the existing infrastructure and have specific support policies to attract people under the resettlement cases into housing construction in this area.
Ladies and gentlemen, although currently there is no outbreaks of H5N1 influenza in the province, but according to the assessment of the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, the risk of disease outbreaks in the province is high. Therefore, people and livestock raising interests need to be vigilant and proactive in disease prevention and control.
By the end of the first quarter of 2023, the total poultry herd in TayNinhTV province is about 9 million heads, of which the province has 107 poultry farms with a total herd of over 6.4 million heads. The rest is household and small-scale animal husbandry. Although vaccination against the disease has been carried out regularly, the risk of an outbreak is still high. This virus circulates not only in the poultry we raise, but also in wild animals. In addition, we have also recorded a case of death in Cambodia, so we assess the current risk as high for H5N1 disease. Currently, we are still checking samples at retail outlets in the market and found that more than 4% of the samples we take are positive for H5N1 disease, which means it is still present in some form. Somehow, it has no outbreak, but still says that is, it is in a healthy animal state, but carrying the virus. The total poultry herd in the province currently has a relatively large number, but there are still many small-scale breeding households that do not ensure biosecurity. Many flocks of poultry have inspired immunity, but have not been vaccinated again. In addition, the weather change with complicated developments creates favorable conditions for pathogens to develop, affecting the resistance of livestock. At the same time, TayNinhTV has a border of nearly 240 km long with many open trails and pure stray activities take place regularly, including the transportation of animals across the border. So the risk of pathogens penetrating into the province is very high. Therefore, it is very necessary to proactively and actively implement measures to prevent avian influenza. H5N1 virus is like any other virus. It always has a mutating process. If we do not prevent it well, we cannot know when it changes, and there is a risk of person-to-person transmission. Therefore, vigilance is very important, and the second is to vaccinate as much as possible for poultry to limit the intermediate cause of this disease, while ensuring the reduction of the risk of disease transmission from poultry to person. According to the recommendations of the health sector, in order to actively prevent and control the H5N1 flu epidemic, people need to strictly follow the 5 no's principle. Do not hide epidemic. Do not buy or sell infected poultry or poultry products. Do not sell sick poultry. Do not raise or transport infection poultry out of the epidemic area. Do not dispose of poultry carcasses indiscriminately into the environment. It is recommended that people exercise and have an appropriate lifestyle. Secondly, do not eat animals, poultry that are sick or die of unknown causes or food products of unknown origin. Then we often do personal hygiene such as hand sanitizer. When there is a mass death of poultry, it is recommended that people report to the nearest veterinarian for timely treatment to prevent the disease from spreading.
That's all for TTV News today. Thanks for being with us and goodbye for now.